So we're here, WrestleMania 40 Night 1 kickoff show. This is a separate video from the actual WrestleMania, because we did last year. And we hear from the panel to kick things off. Our panel for tonight is Kayla Braxton, Pat McAfee, Jim Ross, and Mickie James. A who's who, a litany of legends in this industry. All four of them have their own place in the Hall of Fame, obviously. No outlier there. But yes, tonight we're going to run down the big matches coming up on tonight's show, as well as featuring two matches, the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal and the Cruiserweight Trios Championship match between LA Extreme and the Dragon's Dojo. But yes, we first get underway with our main events discussion. With Kayla discussing the main event of tonight's show, which is Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Ring General, the Royal Rumble winner Gunther. And, Pat McAfee, he's putting over that tough son of a bitch Gunther strong. He's going to chop the life out of Cody. He's going to do this, and that. And Jim Ross, of course, he's an old school guy. He knows, he's seen the underdog stories that have taken place here at WrestleMania. He saw Cody finish the story last year. And this year he's got a tough obstacle against the Ring General. But, it's not an obstacle that Cody Rhodes can't overcome. He's picking the American Nightmare to retain. And Mickie James, she discusses both possibilities, but ultimately agrees that tonight the American Nightmare will be walking out of WrestleMania still WWE Champion. Then also get discussion on the Women's World Championship match, the co-main event of the night, as Io Sky defends against Dakota Kai. And, Pat McAfee says, on SmackDown, I've been seeing this whole thing play out. Dakota Kai, she's got a mission statement. A lot of people look at the Genius of the Sky, they say she's the most dominant champion here on SmackDown, the most dominant champion the women's division's ever seen. But Dakota, she laid this whole thing out for 5 months. She ain't gonna come this far just to come this far tonight. And new Women's World Champion. And JR, of course, he picks Io because, he's a mark. And he's like, Io's like one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time, You put her on a big stage and she's going to deliver. She had arguably the greatest women's match I've ever seen back at SummerSlam of Asuka. And then Mickie goes, again, as a member of the SmackDown locker room, I've seen what happens when Io and Dakota step in the ring. Io beat her twice last year. And tonight, she's going to make it 3. And then quickly head back, backstage interview. Kathy Kelly's backstage, and she's outside the Queendom locker room. She goes, I'm hoping to get a word with the Women's World Champion ahead of tonight's co-main event. And then out comes Cammy. She goes, can I help you, Kathy? She goes, yes, I was waiting to see and hear from the Genius of the Sky. Is she in there? She goes, for your information, Kathy Kelly, the Genius of the Sky is in the Queendom locker room, but she's in Zen right now because tonight she's going to defend the Women's World Championship at the grandest stage of them all. The biggest WrestleMania of all time, they're calling it. It's only that big because the Genius of the Sky, the woman in the locker room, the Joshi Judas, the Women's World Champion, Io Sky, is defending that Women's World Championship against a woman she's beaten countless times. Tonight's a walk in the park, Kathy. So at the end of the night, we'll be hearing, and still, Women's World Champion, Io Sky. And she slams the door shut. Battle Royal time. Yeah. It's a 73. That's actually pretty good for who's in it. And then the 40 women in this match are AJ Lee, Alba Fire, Anne-Marie Porter, Aoi Maikawa, Ariana Grace, Ava Rain, Blair Davenport, Carmella, Cora Jade, Danny Jordan, Fallon Henley, Indy Hartwell, Iona Webb, Ivy Nile, JC Jane, Kairi Sane, Kelsey Cook, Killer Kelly, Lyra Valkyria, Maki, Marika, Meiko Satomura, Mina Mizuki, Naomi, Persia Pirotta, Raquel Rodriguez, the NXT Women's Champion, Roxy Perez, Ruby Riott, Shantae Washington, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi Blackheart, Sonya Deville, Tam, Tatum Paxley, Thea Hale, Tiffany Strand, Violette Martin, Yoko Ubihara, and Zoe Stark. And yeah, of course, we always do the proper elimination order here. So the bell rings, and Ariana Grace is in the middle. She goes, ladies, why are we fighting? Okay, this is a moment that should be celebrated. This is WrestleMania. The winner of this Battle Royal gets to win the prestigious WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal trophy. Girls like Rhea Ripley and Asuka and Florence get to be among those. So, why don't we all just decide who the most worthy winner is to save ourselves all the fighting? And I nominate myself because, this would look great alongside the Queen's Women's Championship that she's going to win tomorrow night. Raquel boots her in the face and dumps Ariana Grace out. She's the first elimination. Yeah. Next to go, Indy Hartwell and Persia Pirotta, they do team up because they are, dickheads right now. They team up to dump out Violette Martin when Zoe Stark then lays out Indy Hartwell with the Z360 to eliminate her. And, Indy's gone. Persia Pirotta's looking on in disgust, going, well, why are you out already, you fucking loser? And then Sonya Deville dumps her out, so now both Indy and Persia have been eliminated. Next to go is Marika of J-Flow. She's eliminated by Cora Jade. And then Iona Webb is eliminated by Raquel Rodriguez. Danny Jordan's the next to go. She's eliminated by Tiffany Stratton. Ava Raine then gets eliminated by Shayna Baszler. Mackie is then eliminated by Zoe Stark. And I guess it's somewhat shocking because she's only the second member of J-Flow to be eliminated. We then see Killer Kelly dumped out by JC Jane. And then we get Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley working together. They try to work together to eliminate Raquel. She's the biggest threat, physically in this match. Raquel fights them both off, and then they do double team to take Raquel down, but don't quite eliminate her. And then they sort of celebrate together. And then Tatum Paxley dumps Ivy Nile out. And Ivy's like, what the fuck? Why? She's just there laughing and, hey, sorry, Ivy. Turns around, Alba fireballs Tatum Paxley in the face again, and then eliminates her, so both Ivy and Tatum are out. We then see Anne-Marie Porter is the next to go. She's eliminated by Roxy Perez. Mina is eliminated by Aoi Maikawa, and Carmella is eliminated by Lyra Valkyria. Then Sonya Deville grabs a hold of Shotzi. She eliminates Shotzi from the match, and Shayna Baszler eliminates Fallon Henley. Ruby Riott then eliminates J-Flow's Mizuki after, a fun fake out spot where she pretends to sing along with her. And then AJ Lee, she grounds Shantae Washington, and, Hurricane Rana's her over the top, so she's out. And then Zoe Stark, she's on a singles run right now because Sol Ruca is injured, but her run is cut short in this match when she's eliminated by Kairi Sane. Next to go, we see Blair Davenport and Yoko Uehara. They find each other and they get into a fight, A preview of Florence and Julia later on tonight. They're two friends fighting out in the Battle Royal. Yoko does dump out Blair Davenport before she's then quickly dumped out by Raquel Rodriguez. And Raquel also eliminates Kelsey Cook. We then get Meiko Satomura and Kairi Sane doing some cool shit in the middle. Ends with Kairi eliminating Meiko Satomura. And then, sorry Colton, turn your ears off, Cora Jade plants Thea Hale with a DDT to eliminate Thea Hale from the match. But we will see her again tomorrow because she'll be around for the Chase U stuff. So, that's not the end of her. Then JC Jane is the next to go. Lyra Valkyria eliminates her. AJ Lee then eliminates the last J-Flow member, Tam. And Sonya Deville eliminates Aoi Maikawa before she turns around into a stiff knee from Shayna Baszler, who then dumps out Sonya Deville. Because I've had a little bit of a rivalry on Heat recently, which Sonya actually won the match on Heat this week, so yeah. Then we see Cora Jade eliminate Lyra Valkyria, two more women that have had a bit of a rivalry recently. That she had a no disqualification match. And then Cora also eliminates Naomi before she ends up getting into it with her old rival Roxy Perez. And Roxy does then eliminate Cora Jade. We then see Tiffany Stratton eliminates Alba Fire, and Raquel Rodriguez eliminates Shayna Baszler. So our final six are AJ Lee, Kairi Sane, Raquel Rodriguez, Roxy Perez, Ruby Riott, and Tiffany Stratton. The next to go, Raquel eliminates Roxy Perez and Kairi Sane. So the final four are AJ, Raquel, Ruby, and Tiffany. Raquel then also eliminates Ruby Riott, so she's on a tear right now. And Tiffany and AJ sort of have to work together to neutralize the powerhouse Raquel Rodriguez. It kind of works for a little bit, but then eventually Raquel does dump out AJ Lee. But as Raquel's back is turned, Tiffany Stratton drop kicks her from behind, eliminating Raquel, and Tiffany Stratton wins the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. You know, the Battle Royal for the women, since I've taken over as the booker at least, like Ariana Grey said at the start of the match, has been won by like a lot of women who went on to do big things. So, you know, this could actually be a platform to catapult Tiffany. You know, watch out for her next year. If WrestleMania is in Minneapolis next year, which I don't know because it's fucking weird, because normally they've announced where the next year WrestleMania is going to be by the time the actual Mania takes place, so I'd be able to make a hype video for it, but we don't know. So, you know, I bet they're saying it's going to be in Minneapolis, and if it is, then yeah, she'll probably have a big match on that show. But it's not about next year, it's about WrestleMania 40 in Philly, and that night belongs to Tiffany Stratton. Then get, you know, reactions from the Battle Royal from the gang. Mickie James, you know, obviously I was rooting for my girl Fallon, but Tiffany's been a bit of a thorn in our side for the last couple of weeks, but we know more than anybody how tough she is, so I'm not really surprised at all to see her come out on top here tonight. JR, of course, he's probably rooting for like someone like Shayna or Sonya, like someone like that, some real wrestler. And Pat McAfee, I don't know, probably likes Raquel, maybe like J-Flo. But yeah, but then move on to them talking about, speaking of women's matches, last year's final two in the women's battle royal were Florence and Julia, and tonight they face off for the ECW Women's Championship. You know, we're running down who's going to be the favourite for that one. JR, he votes Florence. He goes, Florence, you know, she's on a powerhouse, she's got a lot to prove, and she got cost her Money in the Bank cash in there, so tonight she's going to bring it home. Pat McAfee, you know, can't deny the dominant run that Julia's been on. Tonight she retains, and Mickie James, the tiebreaker, also votes for Florence to become the new ECW Women's Champion. We then see them discussing The Rock and LA Knight. And of course, Pat McAfee's going to go for The Rock because he's a rock dick eater. Mickey's going to go for LA Knight because, you know, as much as he may be The Rock, you know, he hasn't wrestled in 2 years and maybe the roster's moved on from him. Whose show is it now? It's LA Knight's show. Yeah. And JR, he's the tiebreaker. He likes The Rock, of course. But there's something about this LA Knight 41-year-old kid, this young man, as JR calls him, that he really likes. So tonight, he thinks it's going to be LA Knight's night. And then they get JR to do the yeah, because I think that'd be funny. 79. The final pre-show match. LA Extreme, Jorge Santana, Santos Escobar, and Rush retain the Cruiserweight Trios Championships against the Dragon's Dojo, when Santos Escobar pins Drew Gulak with a Phantom Driver. 68 for Oni, 77 for Dante Rios, 83 for Drew Gulak, 91 for Rush, 76 for Santos Escobar, and a 70 for Jorge Santana. So yeah, a nice retention for LA Extreme. You know, a lot of people probably read them off because they've been quote-unquote background plays for Dominic, but, you know, no, they got the job done here tonight, proving they can hang by themselves. We then see Triple H. He's in Gorilla. Like, he's outside the entrance. You think he did this for the Royal Rumble in real life on the pre-show? Like, he cut a promo, like, right outside by the entrance where he is, like, backstage. To fire up the crowd, you know, 2 nights of WrestleMania, the biggest WrestleMania of all time. And we've got a great way to kick off the show tonight. Batista then walks up in his suit and he goes, "It's going to be a big night, Hunter. And I've got a feeling we're going to be tough from the moment the show starts to the very end. We're going to be talking about everything that goes down now, because tonight is going to go down in history. Tonight's going to be legendary. Tonight, it's WrestleMania 40. And yeah, that's how we end the pre-show, with Batista, you know, promising a big opening to the show. And Triple H hyping everybody up. And I'll see you for the official WrestleMania Night 1.